Hi everyone! Today we're going to be talking about science and pseudoscience. First of all, what is science? The science is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment.
Example of science: biology. Biology is the study of life and living organisms, from one cell creatures to the most complex living organisms of all, for example, the human being. Another example of science is chemistry. It's the science that deals with the composition, structure, and properties of substance, and with the transformations that they undergo.
The characteristics of science. One of them is the materiality. The first and foremost characteristic of science is that its objects of study are material, and verifiability, that science rests upon sense data gathered through our sense, eye, ear, nose, tongue, and touch.
3. Ethical neutrality. Science is ethically neutral. It only seeks knowledge. How this knowledge is to be used is determined by societal.
One of the most important characteristics is the systematic exploration. A scientific research adopts a certain sequential procedure, an organized plan or design of research for collecting and analysis of facts about the problem under study. But what about pseudoscience? Well, it's a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific methods.
Example of pseudoscience: astrology, the study that assumes and attempts to interpret the influence of the heavenly bodies on human affairs. Another example of pseudoscience is homeopathy. Homeopathy is a system of medical practice that treats a disease especially by the administration of minute doses of a remedy that will in large amounts produce in healthy persons symptoms similar to those of the disease.
Characteristics of pseudoscience. Pseudoscientists believe that there is no more to be learned. They fail to generate testable hypotheses. There tends to be no advances of knowledge in the field, which is resistant to any change. Well, pseudoscience is based on dogma and on critical belief. There may be hostility in the fact of counter evidence or disagreement. Many ideas are not amenable to scientific evaluation. Ideas are subjective and can be tested objectively. And one of the most important, that there is an acceptance of proof with data of questionable validity. The lack of evidence is taken as support that a claim could be true. Now I'm going to talk about the difference between science and pseudoscience. Well, science uses careful observation and experimentation to confirm or reject a hypothesis. Meanwhile, the pseudoscience starts with a hypothesis, look only for evidence to support it, and have little or no experimentation. Science is based on well-established repeating patterns and regularities in nature. Meanwhile, pseudoscience is just focuses without skepticism on alleged exceptions, errors, anomalies, and strange events. Another characteristic can be reproducible results are required of experiments. In case of failure, no excuses are acceptable in science, but in pseudoscience, the results cannot be reproduced or verified. Excuses are freely invented to explain the failure of any scientific test. In science, personal stories or testimonials are not accepted as evidence, but in pseudoscience, personal stories or testimonials are relied upon for evidence. Thank you so much for your attention. See ya. Bye.
Created using Powtoon.